Hello, Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity, and today we're going to talk about one of my pet peeve favorite topics, and that's non-nutritive sweeteners, which includes artificial sweeteners and other things like xylitol, stevia, all of that. Now, right off the bat, I've made it very clear that I'm not a fan. Maybe for occasional use, like the sugar alcohols, the ones that end in OL, like sorbitol, xylitol, erythritol, may be okay, or stevia. But for regular routine use, no, they absolutely are not part of the equation of being healthy. And people are saying, oh, well, it's stevia, it's natural, but we're still cheating Mother Nature. We need to get used to this whole concept of not needing as much sweet. If you need sweet, maybe you do something like honey or berries that are naturally sweet, and our body knows exactly what to do with them. But anything else that we're using, we are cheating, and there's always a price to be paid for that. Now, before I go any further, make sure you like this video, share it with somebody you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel. There have been lots of inklings over the years that artificial sweeteners, so not just the non-nutritive, but specifically artificial sweeteners, think xylitol, aspartame, acesulfame K, xylitol, sucralose, the biggest one, sucralose, aspartame, and acesulfame K, or Splenda. Those are the biggest artificial sweeteners that are in use. And we have more than enough. I mean, just from a common sense standpoint, if they worked, because they're in everything, we should be seeing less obesity and diabetes, and we're not. The more these have been introduced into society, the more weight problems we've had. Whether it's causation or correlation, I don't know. But clearly, at the very least, they are not helping. So this was a study out of Brazil looking at almost 13,000 people, age 35 and up, but in particular the 35 to 59 category, so the under 60 category. They followed them for 8 years to look at different aspects of cognition and how much artificial sweetener or non-nutritive sweetener. Interestingly enough, this study did not include sucralose and stevia, which is, I don't know if it's just not part of the study, which seems odd because those are by far some of the most common, but they were not in this study. But I am taking the liberty to extend them to the same data set. They broke them into tertiles, so in thirds, so the lowest third versus the highest third. Those people over the course of the highest, and diabetic, non-diabetic, it didn't matter. The outcomes were the same for the under 60. And they found that the group in the highest third had faster declines in verbal fluency, as well as global cognition. So multiple markers of cognitive function were declining faster in the non-nutritive sweetener group. Again, just to be clear, not including sucralose and stevia. The over 60 crowd, we didn't see as much. Not quite sure whether that is in the study, but the bottom line, the take-home message is that these non-nutritive sweeteners have effects that we don't quite know yet. At the very least, they are not helping us with our weight problem, which is what most people take them for, weight management of diabetes. At the worst case scenario, they are causing all kinds of havoc, but society really doesn't look very closely because they're in everything. Their use is very high. Rest assured, I'm very confident we absolutely need to not be taking in these things. You need to get used to less sweet. No cheating. There's always going to be a price to pay when you're trying to cheat Mother Nature. As always, I will post a link to this particular study in the description. Make sure you like this video, share it with somebody you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel.